What's up, everyone, and welcome to ClearTalk. In this video, we're going to be talking about the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, and how they are apparently making waves in this election cycle. And not only with Republicans in this administration, you know, calling them communists and all this, but even in the Democratic Party. Maybe for the same reason. But anyways, thank you very much for joining me. We're going to talk about this real quick. So thank you. If you are new to the channel, welcome. If you'd like to check out more from the channel, please do so. Consider subscribing, like, share, comment, all the good stuff to get more videos, more in front of more people. All the links are in the description below to this channel and my other channels. So again, all that's free for you, helps out tremendously for the channels. Okay, if you do want to go, further, there's Patreon link there. If $2 you support any of the channels that you would like to help grow those channels, help grow JMD Nation and Patreon, that would be amazing and help out tremendously. There's also a merch link there. I have merchandise for every single channel, so check that out. And if you're a Patreon member, you get a discount on that merch. Any support you decide to give, though, is amazing and it's very much appreciated, and I thank you very much. My mind went blank for a second there. I'm not even joking. It's like I completely lost track. And if you're returning, you're freaking amazing. So welcome back. Keep coming back, because you are what makes JMD Nation. Okay, so the DSA. So we have seen for a while now that that the Trump administration has been trying to demonize the entirety of the Democratic Party around turning communist, right? This is apparently their go-to for this election, to try to demonize. This is like the new Red Scare. This is like the new, you know, communism scare from way back in, you know, the USSR and the Cold War and everything. I mean, this is what we've come back around to that, okay? Pretending like democratic socialism is communism. It's absolutely ridiculous on its face, not even remotely close, but nevertheless, that is the easiest way for the Republican Party, because they know, the Republican Party knows that their base, that, like, especially the Trump administration, their base, MAGA, is not intelligible enough, not educated enough to understand the differences. And whenever they hear trigger words like communist, Marxist, Leninists, all this kind of stuff, they'll bad, oh my god, we can't have that, oh my gosh, they're taking over the country. They don't know the difference. They don't know any differently, and that's what they are bound and determined to associate democratic socialism to, the progressive movement too. And for that base, that is working. I mean, it certainly, and it's easy to work because they don't know any better. But what I find also crazy at this point is that, actually, I don't find it crazy, because they've been doing this for a long time. But even the hardcore, like, corporate Democrats are falling into this also. They are falling into this thing of also demonizing the democratic socialists that are, you know, clearly winning. I mean, if anything is showing the Democratic Party what direction it needs to go to, what direction is the taste of the base, what they are looking at, what they are seeing actually might work, what they see actually might benefit them, you know, than the lame duck Democrats and the lack of ability to do anything for American people, that they have, you know, been just bound and determined to stick to for the past couple of decades now, just literally not doing anything. And people are sick and tired of it. They're sick and tired of the Republicans and how extreme right they have went, but they're also sick and tired of these do-nothing Democrats, the corporate Democrats that do nothing but protect themselves, protect corporations, protect the rich, and do nothing for regular people. but little crumb drops here and there just to try to keep you happy. They're sick and tired of it. They see how extreme the far right is and how bold and driven they are to make sure that they get what they want, all right, and benefit how they want. To get them, and even from their base perspective, get everything that they want, all the racism and white supremacy that they can possibly get, which is most of the base and what most of the base actually cares about. They don't really care about the war stuff. They don't really care about, whether or not people are being assisted or programs being diminished and our food supplies and stuff being in all the protection regulations and stuff around our food, around water, around products and all this stuff being completely just destroyed and creating health issues in our food and society, going to make it very much worse. Anything, they don't care about that. They just want to get brown people out. That's what they want. But anyways, the Democratic Party though is now trying to target. They are missing this moment in seeing how strong DSA candidates are winning in all of these different locations across the country, and they are looking at that going, yeah, we don't want that. We don't want to win. I mean, that's literally what corporate Democrats are doing right now. Yeah, I guess we don't really want to win. It's not enough. We're willing to sacrifice and let the Trumps of the world continue to destroy this country over, being happy and celebrating Democratic wins. Like, we don't like this. This is not what we want. So we're going to do everything to also demonize people that are actually winning, and actually, putting forth policies that would benefit people. Oh no, we can't do that. It is absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. You have there was a senator, a representative, House representative, that went on Breaking Points the other day and debated with Crystal Ball over DSA, and was arguing, all these stupid talking points of the right, which she pointed out, and he tried to act like, he wasn't doing. But pointing out all these talking points of the right, like, oh my gosh, look at them. They're for open borders and they're for defunding the Pentagon and defunding police and all this kind of, and acting like this was, and meaning that was that they wanted to obliterate it, like trying to equate that to abolishing ICE, which he actually is in favor of, weirdly enough, but yet he didn't connect that abolishing ICE, because he tried to say that, well, different people mean different things by abolishing ICE. It doesn't all mean the same thing. But yet acting like when people say defund, just defund the Pentagon or defund police across the country, that's not, there's not nuance there, that people mean different things there, and it's not all just obliterated. He's equating defund to abolish, but not abolish to defund. Like, it's absolutely ridiculous. When we say abolish, we mean abolish. When we say defund, that just means to reduce the amount of money that's being allocated to it, reduce certain avenues that they are, working in, culling them back, regulating them, pull them back, not letting them just free and loose to do what some of the things that they are doing. That's what that means. It's absolutely ridiculous. And even the open borders thing, there might be an extreme, and he even pointed out, even Crystal Ball pointed out, maybe one member even in Congress that openly says open borders. No other member in Congress says that. And this guy even admitted to that. But then uses her as the example to represent all of DSA. And it's like, no, that's not how that works. Yes, there might be individual people here and there that might actually, in their theory, like the idea of open borders, something like that. But the overall sentiment of progressives and the democratic socialism movement is not open borders. Just like the argument around Biden in that he allowed open borders. He didn't fucking allow open borders. He continued Trump-era border policies. Give me a break. Biden did not have open borders. This whole argument from the, again, this is the arguments of the right, and you have corporate Democrats using those arguments against people that are actually fucking winning for the Democratic Party, because the corporate Democrats are not fucking winning. Because people are sick and tired of their gushy, ridiculous arguments. Their wuss, weak arguments. They're placating and wanting to, go along with the get along bullshit so that they don't upset the Republicans too much. Oh my gosh, because we gotta work with them. Because they're so fucking sane. Bro, no, the Republican Party is out of loop. They are the extreme. They are losing their minds. They are destroying America, and the Democratic Party does not have a backbone. The core, the fundamental, the corporate part of the Democratic Party in Washington, that is, the careerists, all right, they do not have a backbone to fight this. They do not have a backbone to push back against this administration. They haven't had the backbone to do so. The only ones that have the backbone to do so and are being successful in that is the Democratic Socialists. Because they have the same feeling and sentiment of the base. 80% of Democrats, the base, the voters, the people, the citizens out there seeing what's happening. They have the same mentality. They have the same sentiment that something has to fucking happen, and you can't sit by idly. You can't do this weak sauce policies and weak sauce rhetoric and think you're going to accomplish anything. Think you're going to create pressure enough to pull back these extreme right, extreme far right Republicans, the MAGAs, the everything. You're not going to do. They are too bold. They are the don't give a fuck people. Okay. Don't tread on me. I'll do what I want. Again, supremacy, superior. That's what they think they are. They think they are untouchable, and they can do whatever they want. You can't fight back against that with, please, pretty please, with the, sugar on top. No, you can't do that. You've got to push back with aggression. You've got to push back with lifting up the people, creating that public pressure of, no, yeah, you might think you can do something, but you are a very small minority of this of the population of this country, and the rest of the country is not going to allow it. That you have to rise up the rest of the country, and that's what DSA is doing. That's what the Democratic Socialists of America is doing. All right, the people that just want universal health care, want health care as a right. All right, the kind of people that want to help, fund education more. What would actually be America first actual policies that would benefit actual people, taxing the extreme wealth and reallocating that to the rest of the country. Okay, maybe they are eliminating. I'm for eliminating billionaires. They shouldn't exist. I agree. Reducing the wealth inequality. Oh my gosh, how extreme. Things should be a little more fair. Oh my gosh, so extreme. People should be taken care of in the country. The richest nation in the world should actually take care of its people, should actually have affordable housing, should actually have, you know, people able to work a job, just one job, and be able to live, be able to exist, not work themselves to death and still can't put food on the table. That can actually go to the doctor and not worry about getting into debt. Oh my gosh, that's so extreme. Ah, it's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. The Democratic Party, the core, what has been in control of the Democratic Party, is losing itself. It is losing. They have realized that they are not cool anymore, and they're desperate to try to get that coolness back. It's not gonna happen. You're done. It's over. Just accept it. And they're trying to do everything they can to push back, even willing enough to move to the right and use right-wing rhetoric, use Trump-like rhetoric and narrative, propaganda, to discredit the left wing of the Democratic Party, the anti-corporate wing of the Democratic Party. Oh my! This is elitism protecting itself. Okay, this is the rich and wealthy protecting themselves. And the other layer to this also, if you'll notice, I'm going to point this out as well. What are some of the largest people pushing back against DSA candidates and the DSA movement? Israel and the Israeli lobby, and all of the Democrats and Republicans who are bought and paid by AIPAC and by the Israel lobbyists. Look, I mean, look at it. Look it up. Every single one of them. They're bought and paid by corporations, and they're bought and paid by the Israeli lobby. And DSA is open. Their candidates are open. The Mamdanis and stuff, they're all openly stating about the genocide and about defunding from Israel. Stop sending them. And that is even at this point 50% of the House. That's 50% of Washington right now. And I mean, reality probably not, even though the vote reflects that. And reality is probably not actually 50%, but there was a lot of pressure on a lot of Democrats to vote against sending weapons to Israel. But nevertheless, there is an awakening and a reckoning happening in this country. People are waking up to what is actually going on in this country. Little by little, yes. And it took the extremes of someone like Trump in this administration and having the thought and idea that they can do whatever they want, impunity, putting sycophants in there, firing all kinds of people that would dissent or hold them or you know, try to keep them from doing what they're doing. You have a point right now where Republicans control the House, they control the Senate, they control the White House, they control the Supreme Court, the judiciary. They have full control. They have full control. And there is this, we are living in the history of the most outcry from U.S. citizens ever. This is what happens when Republicans and the far right get enough strength, get enough influence, and get enough representation in government to take over everything and implement their policies. This is what you get. This is what you get. You get a society that is angry and upset that healthcare costs are going up, that education is going up, that assistance programs are being eliminated, people being fired all over the place, AI taking over jobs. This is what happens when Republican policies actually take full effect. Inflation rises, prices go up. This is what happens. The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. This is what happens. And there is a reckoning happening. It is becoming more and more obvious, okay? For the past few decades, we've had too much of an equal balance. We've had too much of an equal balance. And now, for the first time in a long time, you have full-ass right-wing takeover of everything. And this is what's happening. And people are starting to see, holy fuck, this is what happens when right-wing takes over? The rich get richer, the poor get poorer. All our, it gets harder to live. Prices of everything goes up. Our income goes down. And they try to turn us into an evangelical Christian nation, trying to press and push their doctrination on us as a society. This is what happens in Republican far-right policy and government ideology, and people are waking up to it, and they're realizing that maybe these democratic socialists have a point. Maybe these people that are talking about how, you know, corruption and capitalism of the elites has kind of ruined this nation, and that maybe going full capitalist, maybe going the ramifications of allowing just unregulated capitalism is a problem. Yeah, we can look and see that full-ass communism also is a problem. We can even see that there have been issues on full-ass socialism has a bad history, especially when corrupt people are in control of it. But democratic socialism is a blend. It's like saying, okay, let's take the best parts of socialism, let's take the best parts of capitalism, and let's marry them together. And maybe we can actually have something that looks like a decent representation and a decent regulation of society, where everybody, yes, you get the opportunity for wealth, but also you have the opportunity, if you decide to just exist happily without feeling in servitude and just trying to survive. I mean, it's so extreme. It's so radical. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. But the elites, the corporates, the far right, the fascists, the conservative people that want to conserve old ideas, they don't like that. They don't like that, and they're desperate. They're all desperate right now to maintain and hold as much influence and hold on as much as they can. But unfortunately, your policies, your selfishness has gotten you where you are, has gotten society to see and given you the reputation that you have. And society has decided overall that we don't want it anymore. We don't like it. It's not beneficial to everybody. Maybe beneficial for you, but not beneficial for everybody. It's not what this America was created for. And the idea and the scope of everybody living in freedom, everybody having equal opportunity in the pursuit of happiness for everybody. And it wasn't just for white men. It wasn't just for the elites. I mean, if it were, the Founding Fathers had perfect opportunity to enshrine that into our Constitution, enshrine that. If this was a Christian nation, they had every opportunity to enshrine that, but they didn't. If they wanted this nation to be a corrupt nation for all elites, and they could have enshrined that, but they didn't. If they wanted it to be a racist, white supremacist nation, they could have enshrined that, but they didn't. They knew that these extreme things would eventually come into judgment, and that the world would change, because it had been changing for a long time, and old ways had found their demise, and eventually even the ways of those times were going to find their demise, because people ultimately, society changes, because society in large favors fairness. So no, they didn't want to enshrine those things. And that's the reason why this nation was never meant to be any of those things. And right now, the best representation of those types of qualities, of those types of opinion for this nation, actual freedom, actual, concern and compassion for everybody, white, brown, black, red, yellow, purple, whatever, green, however you deem yourself, rainbow, whatever, anybody should have the freedoms to live and prosper healthy, happy lives. And the best representation of that right now in the United States is the DSA. It is the Democrat Socialist of America movement. The Bernie Sanders, the AOCs, the Mamdanis, these are the ones that are pushing for policies for everyday people, for everybody. And that benefits everybody. There's always a reason why people don't like certain people. And you have to start looking at that. Why? And what reason and why they don't like them? Is it because to not like them, or to hate them, or to condemn them helps them personally, or does it help society at large? Which is it? And that's the big question that needs to start being asked by everybody. When you decide that you want to defend one side or another, or one group of people or another, Is that because you are defending personal things, something that would benefit a single person or a single group, or are you doing it to defend society at large? Thank you very much for joining me. Let me know what you think, and until next time, peace. Clear Talk, I'm out.